Hello everybody, welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando Tournament 2023. We got the lower bracket round 1 for you today. It's Bob the Elder versus TAH. Commentating for us, we have Melee Wizard and Mirai, and tracking is Lost the Pirate. Say hello everybody.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Alright, so as mentioned, we got Bob the Elder versus the Alan Huffley in a lower bracket round 1 match. So we're already in a situation where win, move on, and lose, and you're done.
Yeah, this is. I always say it's an interesting race, but it is an interesting race because it's a randomizer, and you never know what's going to happen. And both of these runners, Bob has been having kind of bad luck in Max Rando so far. He was the last seed. He did not get a win out of Swiss. He obviously took a loss in round 1 in the upper bracket. He's down near the lower bracket. So I don't know. Bob's, again, bad seed luck, bad choices, bad guesses. I don't know. Alan Heffley, Alan is Alan. I think he's been playing well throughout this, but he did take a loss to Zarnax after taking a win off of him in Swiss. So he's also down here in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and looks like our runners will be on their way any second now. Anything interesting you want to see here?
I want to see. Well, I want to see some palaces, and I think we're going to get that here as we get a look at their spell menu just a moment. Yeah, we're going to get 4 palaces have to be done here in tonight's seed. That's interesting. A lot more interesting than something like a 0-gemmer, and it's not going to be a full clear. We're going to see 4 choices that they have to make for the palaces, which can lead to different routing, which does make things interesting.
Yeah, we are starting with no items, but we are starting with Thunder and Fairy, and oh my, this is rather bottlenecked little entrance here.
Yeah, that hammer blind cave, I wonder if that takes us somewhere else, if that's just an item cave.
We'll find out whenever we get the hammer, and there's our first town, and it is Mido, which we already have the spell from, and we already have Downstab as well, so this place is pretty much only useful for if they're looking for hints.
Yeah, we're going to see Alan going for a hint here. This could be a game changer. Oh.
Aha. There's some info. Hammer's in the east.
Yeah, it would have been kind of upsetting had there been like a glove hint and then Bob kind of dips out of there and Alan has all this information early on.
Bob does find the back end of Saria. It is Reflect. And Fairy's castable at 1. Wow.
Yeah, that is nice.
Okay.
It's nice that it's like that, but now there's an additional thing on your plate right here in the beginning. It's like, do I jump into palaces immediately? If I see a P1, am I going in here right away?
And notably, Alan Heffley did not. I don't know if he thought Fairy wasn't castable right now, but he decided not to look into Saria. At least not yet.
Yeah, it's possible that he overlooked that, but it's also possible like maybe he doesn't want to get thrown across Saria and locked over in that section right now.
Possibly, yeah, since looks like we had perhaps looking into what else there is in this little neck of the woods. Like the cross, for example.
Yeah, potentially useful if we get thrown to the east early on. We'll get to see those MOAs.
Yeah, finding that the cross is always a nice thing. It's just a little quality of life improvement.
Absolutely.
Oop, we got our first palace sighting, and it is P1.
Yeah, the choice that you have to make early on. We got the fairy spells castable and it's P1 here.
And Alan Heffley finds Great Palace.
Wow, look at that color of green.
And that's Maruru. Already have the spell out of there.
Although there's 3 more hints in here, so here we're gonna play. Oh no, we're not gonna play the hints game. Or we are.
Okay.
Yeah, the hints game. I don't. This is a game that tends to not work out that well. But man, could it work out that well if you do get a hint that your opponent is just not going to come into a town and pick up? I like how Alan sent the woman back into the house. Be like, it's dangerous out here, woman. Go back inside.
Although having fairy does mean we can do some exploration. We can only do so much, and jump is jump. Okay.
Item cave for Bob over here. Is this going to be something we want?
Well, I mean, it's not the worst thing. I mean, it's definitely another little quality of life improvement.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like one of those things. It's kind of tough to quantify early on, but you know what? It might come in handy just due to the fact that 2 lives.
Trophy is in Death Mountain.
What a place. So I think we're 1 for 7 on hints so far.
We've gotten 2.
Oh, do we get 2 from standard?
Right. That one was an automatic, right?
Yeah. I think I always forget this. It's 2 per continent. Is that what it is?
I can never remember.
I don't know either. I feel like
was that 5 that Alan Huffley found? Because I didn't see. I don't think I saw a red jar drop there.
I was actually watching Bob. Okay, so if Bob knows this, he can go up the elevator, come back down, and get a red jar out of the statue at the bottom here, because it looks like Fairy's obviously eating through all of his magic.
And when you only have 2 lives, you don't have too much leeway to go through.
Yeah.
And that was 700 P-bag.
Yeah, very, very nice. This is where Bob.
Oh boy. Well.
Yeah, this even hurts though, because even if he takes the death, he's on his final life. He can ferry through that, but then what is he going to do on the boss if the boss isn't dropping a key? It's just you're just stuck right there. And that's assuming the boss is even in that direction. He ran into a similar situation in the item room where it was a key was on the left side of the room, and he just went ahead and up an aid to go right at start.
And Alan definitely finds the trophy cave.
Yeah, I was going to say that we just mentioned it where early fairy castable is going to be on your mind for drinking in the palaces, but then 2 lives, totally forgot about the 2 lives thing. If fairy's eating through all your magic, that's just 2 casts, and man, you had just better hope that there's not a lot of doors in the way.
And hello, boots.
Yeah, we're hoping they're going to be useful. Might not be on our mountainous biome. Could be, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes the mountainous biomes have these little areas that are at the top. Like we see right there on the east side. Beyond there's a big bit of water, but we are near the top of the map. But sometimes you can get around a mountainous biome walking around the water on the outside.
And there we have Maze Island and our first item here already, and it's the flute.
Yeah, Alan, so far, I'd say is making a good amount of progress, especially seeing as that candle's the only thing that was in P1 for Bob. And Alan has been doing a lot of exploration here. He's seeing a lot of these item caves. He's just getting knowledge. And that, of course, that 700-point P-bag right off the bat was nice as well.
And Bob finding the raft spots, which we don't have the raft yet.
Speaking of the candle, though, I mean, Bob's probably going to be able to put it to a little bit better use in these caves here.
Yeah, being able to see, A, what the enemies are, and B, where they are, so you don't get hit by everything. And there's also that little benefit. And there's the glove. Ooh.
We will continue to commentate the rest of this race by just making sounds.
Okay, yeah. Alan Heffley is definitely getting a good bit of stuff here.
Yeah, that's big. And if he starts investing in magic levels, hoping to get that fairy cast down, he's going to be in much, much better shape overall versus Bob, at least right now. Well, the glove is absolutely nice to find and pick up. One, I'm glad it's not too hidden. I would fully expect Bob is going to find this here, so it's not going to be like in Alan's favor for the first 40 minutes of the race or something. And 2, we don't even know if it's going to be ultimately useful until we finally see a glove block, which we might not even see until GP.
And the palace in 4 is 4. The palace in Maze Island is 4.
Oh no, this is 3 or 6.
Right, I got my. I saw those pillars and I don't know why. I don't know what. Anyway,
You're all
thank you for correcting.
You're all good. Bob just covering the tracks that Alan has already covered. He's right by the bridge too, so we'll see him probably pop in there. Did we see if Fairy has come down? I mean, I guess Fairy's got to come down to like 32 if we're going to get 2 casts of it immediately, but it'd be good to know if it starts coming down here.
There's another 500 P bag. Was that considered the item room for this?
No.
Okay.
There's just going to be a small item on that. I think that's a Death Mountain room that's been repurposed for palaces.
Yeah, I recognize the start of that room. It's always weird when you see, like Death Mountain rooms in with palace visuals.
Yeah. Seeing the mountain texture turned into brick textures. You're like, this is familiar. Where do I know this from?
So Fairy is at 53.
Yeah, that's what it is at 1.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't changed at all yet.
We do know there's small keys in the drop pool, though, as Bob has shown us. So either Alan hasn't killed enough small enemies yet to see that, or it's possible that it just dropped into lava somewhere along the way.
So, and I also just noticed that the raft spot also goes to Maze Island.
Oh, nice, yeah, okay. So we are looking for a cave. I don't think it's on Maze Island here, so it's going to be back in the west somewhere that the cave is going to take us out of Death Mountain or east. Or a combination of both.
So one downside for the Alan Heffley find... Oh, wait, no. For some reason, I keep thinking they're in 4.
All right, so
I think Alan Heffley just found a loop?
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Bob, I didn't see it on Alan's side, but Bob went ahead and walked a little bit further over on Maze Island. We can definitely get a visual that there's no cave on Maze Island, so our cave is definitely going to be on the west somewhere today. And for anyone watching, I say the cave, but there's 2 caves out there that are going to do something. Yeah, we haven't seen any windows yet, have we? Oh, well, never mind.
I don't...
That was the boss room.
Mm-hmm. And that is 3.
Nice. I like the curtain color with this like crimson blood red here with this kind of this gray palace. This is matching very well. Very good job, Rebanak.
All right, and that's putting that downstab we started with to good use. And it looks like that was just a 1-up on the boss drop. So
yeah, that might be super useful come GP with these 2 lives if we get a kill on Thunderbird. We didn't see the item in here yet, have we?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. That's right. You had mentioned, you asked if we had seen the item, if that was the item, and then Alan found the loop, and then he found Rebo, but he hasn't found the item yet. Okay.
And yep, that's pretty much just a dead end for Maze Island, so unless the item in 3 is important for something, we're pretty much done here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really can't be because we know Hammer East, we have the flute, and we have the glove, and...
we know the raft doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, no raft, and we have the boots, so we're set. So I guess, Alan making this play, it's not a bad play to make. Unless you want another magic container and you're gambling on P3 having one.
And nice thought by the Alan Heffley of just walking all the way around the outside of the island, making quick work of getting out of there.
All right, so I think we're missing Medicine Cave. Okay, so we saw Trophy, we saw the Pillar P bag, we saw Heart. So we're missing Magic Container Cave, Medicine Cave, and the Grass Tile?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been keeping... We see the runner's full streams.
That's right.
I'm using the same type of tracker that the Alan Heffley is.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Alan uses Angry Larry's tracker, and it shows the... Oh, I guess the one that Bob has as well shows what he's found and what he's not found.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob finding that same loop here. I think he went around it. I think so. Either way, this is the looping side of P3 here. He needs to go left at start. Probably looking for some experience. Only 52 points away from that level.
And that's Jump Cave for Alan Heffley. Not the most appealing place to go to right now. And, he loops around to the other side of... So it turns out the two halves of Saria aren't blocked off from each other.
Kind of a minor shortcut, it looks like. All depends on whether...
Although he did... Alan Heffley, he should know that that's Reflect, isn't it? So he still doesn't have that.
Yeah. Maybe he's making the ultimate gamble. Maybe he's cutting some corners here tonight for this lower bracket race. But if it's that free and it's this early on in the seed, sometimes you're going to be tempted to just grab it. Unfortunately, Alan wasting his key there, casting Fairy, and then burning through the key.
Yeah, I saw him react to it a little bit, realizing the mistake he made.
All right, Bob trying to get corner strats here on Rebanak, and there it is. Just hold it.
There we go.
Yeah, did we... Okay, we saw past this, but I don't remember how far Bob made it beyond this point. Hopefully Alan can make it a little bit further, but again, we're running into that same problem. He's on his last life. No further cast of Fairy. He did see the key in the drop pool, but that seemed to take a little while, so I don't know if there's going to be something that he can grind to get it, or there might just be one sitting around somewhere if he's lucky. Oh, I'm sorry. If bosses are dropping one up, so he can obviously just take that one up, take a death, and then get his Fairy cast back. So I guess that works too. Oh, here's our item room for Bob.
Okay. Takes the bop, but it knocks him forward. But, yeah.
Not the magic container you're looking for.
Okay, but he was on his last life.
So P1 doing both of our runners in here. P1 going to be the shortest palace, but has enough blocks in it today to where 2 lives and only 2 casts of Fairy is going to be enough to stop them from fully getting to Horsehead. That's pretty wild. Yeah, so here, this is exactly what Alan's doing. This is where the boots could really help on a mountainous biome. There might be little areas like this on a mountainous biome that are completely disconnected sometimes from the rest of everything else. Although this looks like Jump Cave, yeah.
Alright, so at least we know that we don't have to go through that.
Might be some item caves down here. I think we've seen 2 of our pass-throughs. I think we're still missing one of them.
Oh, there's medicine. That's Magic Container Cave.
Yeah, still no sighting of this grass tile, though. All right, Bob is back. Oh, I think Bob, if he goes to the top side here, I think he'll find his item. I think he's still missing his second. Oh, my God.
Oh, hello, Magic Key.
That is going to open up P1 for Alan.
Yeah, that's going to open up a lot of things, I think.
Yeah, the restriction on 2 lives, 1 cast of Fairy per life, and then finding the Magic Key, all that's just completely lifted, and he is good to go.
And there's the Medicine Cave.
Yeah, Bob finding his flute on Maze Island. That's his second item. He's already got the glove as well, and he's out of there. He's going to check west from the bridge, which might take us to the grass tile. We also have yet to see how to get off of this continent towards the east or Death Mountain.
Yeah, I was about to say, we found all of the item caves in the west, but we hadn't seen a way to get to the east or to Death Mountain.
Yeah. And I hope Bob doesn't get... See, Bob's going to be... this is something where I was talking about earlier, like hoping that one of our runners
Oh, and it's
Key in one and key in the other.
Yeah, well, one is definitely better than the other.
But if Bob doesn't make it down to this area, he's not going to have that key, and he's going to be stuck with that too. Well, at least for a while until he gets some magic levels. He's going to be stuck with that restriction, unless he goes through Jump Cave. If he goes through Jump Cave, that's also an answer for him. All right, so it seems like the northwestern section of our western continent is yet to be discovered and cleared up by any of our runners so far, and that's got to be where our connection cave is at.
There's 500. Yeah, well, we had seen 500 B-Bikes, but knowing that they're in the drop pool is very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, and that area was just barely accessible with the boots. Holy cow.
It's wild that the randomizer does these things in these biomes and these maps. I think it's phenomenal. It's like, it can be frustrating to not find things like that. Again, today, Jump Cave does still take you down there as well, but there could be times where boots are absolutely required to get to something, and the mountainous biomes can be like that. And again, while it's frustrating, it's just really cool to see that from just the generation standpoint of the way that it builds out these biomes.
And I had just seen on the way back to P1 for the Alan Heffler, you saw that there was a second cave that was hammerlocked.
Oh, I wonder if that's... we did see a pass-through heading north, and I wonder if that's either Ferry or Parappa.
Either way, it's got to lead to something, because we know the hammer's in the east.
Okay, so Bob went through Jump Cave. That's what he needed, and he's going to get his magic key down here as well. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so after all of that, the early dig for Bob being unsuccessful, Alan getting a little bit of ground, but Alan also digging into one unsuccessful and more or less kind of giving that time back to Bob. Bob isn't that far behind Alan at this point. It might even be in Bob's favor if that item in P3 was something like a magic container.
Holy cow, a whole bunch of P-bags.
I'm sure Bob is happy to see that magic key.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're at the there's a horse head.
Yeah, one key door that we were blocked from, just 2 rooms away from Horsehead at that point.
So now the question is, does Alan Heffley end up digging out the candle out of here?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was left of start.
Although at this point, I would wonder what the Alan Heffley would even be looking for at the moment, because the only items we don't have are the hammer, which we know is in the east, the raft, which we know is useless. The statue, the trophy, which we know only leads to the jump spell.
So you say only the jump spell, but man, that jump spell can be very nice in a GP.
Well, yeah, fair. Yeah, but you it's not.
I know what you mean.
It's not like the trophy was locking Thunder or something.
Yeah. So speaking of Thunder, how much is Thunder to cast? Do we have a read on that at Magic 5 at this moment?
I didn't even look.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just going to be magic containers. Okay, he's going to come back in.
Yep. As mentioned, if nothing else, magic containers are a very nice thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, we on seeds with 2 lives, we always keep calling back to the 2 lives. It's such a staple for punishment in these seeds. Like, the seed can be fine, but 2 lives, when you die once and then you're on your final life, it can be very difficult to get through certain areas that are just longer linear digs.
So, considering that Bob the Elder did not have the glove coming through here the first time, I'm pretty sure we know the candle's not this way.
My guess is this could loop around to our pass-through item room. And it does, yeah. Good old randomizer in its loops.
Oh, okay then. Never mind what I said.
No. It's like that though, because Alan's gonna think he's like, okay, well, I needed the glove to get the candle, and Bob's like, what do you mean? You didn't need the glove to get the candle. So it's like two different runners, two different perspectives. Okay, are we finally gonna make it to the northwest? Oh, nope, Bob is not there yet. Okay, Bob is finding Raru.
That was 5, and Alan Heffley's digging into 5.
Attack 3, no shield spell. It's probably going to be a 3-shot on him at life 5. Yeah, if we needed any confirmation, there was Bob swinging at the statue there, no jar whatsoever. So this is definitely 5. Bob opting not to go back to P1, though, after getting that magic key. It's probably on his mind, though. I mean, he maybe just wants to try 5. Well, I don't know. I'm going to say he wants to try 5 first, but that might be a crazy statement.
I believe after he got the magic key, he either game overed or up 8.
Oh, yeah, you might be right about that.
And I think this might have been the closer palace to start.
Yeah.
Well, not quite making it. That is a rather nasty little bridge segment there with the Moa.
That room is built like that, so you can't just like fall down. Those mid sections of the bridge are there to just kind of stop you from falling from the top and hitting the solid floor underneath. It really comes to, this is one of those rooms that a lot of people, it's kind of got like a high difficulty learning curve to it, but once you understand it, I think it's a pretty simple room. It just all comes down to timing because the MOAs. If you put the MOAs in the wrong spot in the room, it's very punishing. Okay, so it looks like Alan went all the way down that elevator, and Bob went to the middle section of it, so we're getting some divergence here.
Mm-hmm. And suddenly it looks like we're in 6 instead.
All right, Alan recognizes that as a dead end. Can he make this jump? I don't know if that was a purposeful fall.
Well, at least we know it's a loop now.
Is it a loop or is it a duplicate room? Okay, it's going to be, it's something the randomizer can do is just put, it has these fairy hole rooms right here. It has stacked multiples of these on itself before.
Oh, really?
Terrible experiences.
Fun.
So Alan Heffley not going left in that P6 drop room that we saw, instead opting to up an A and come back here.
And Bob doing something. I think he might have game over, but they're pretty much in high 5 and their way through here now.
Yeah, Bob does have attack 4, so that could prove to be a little bit more useful, especially on Guma.
Oh, gee, that's okay. So the dripper enemies are the orange iron knuckles. Good to know.
Yeah, if we're talking about room difficulty, that room with the crumble bridge and the drippers that drip onto it, I know who built that room. I question whether that was out of malice or not.
This is Zelda 2 Randomizer. Malice is always an option.
Yeah, Bob just one room behind at this point.
And the Moa sends him into the lava bath again, and he decides, no, I'll come back later.
Yeah, we'll see if Alan can make... This is... Alan is following the route that Bob hit the first time.
Finds Death Mountain right next to P5.
Nice.
Okay.
And our grass tile.
And there's the grass tile right near there, too. Okay.
So if we're looking for that other cave, we got a cave to Death Mountain. That cave to the east might be in Death Mountain somewhere. If Bob finds it a lot faster than Alan will, that could be a big advantage for him.
That was our first magic container and on the grass tile.
Nice. Okay, so finally getting to see that Thunder is 77 at Magic 5. So that extra magic container is good for Bob, but I'm sure there'll be at least one other that Alan will find somewhere before this is over.
Ooh, boy, really? That's not a very friendly spot to be in for the Alan Heffley. Stuck between got a blue iron knuckle on one side and a dancing bear on the other.
Speaking of being able to cast Thunder, that would be useful here.
And Bob finds Hammer Cave like immediately.
Yeah, I think if this is going to be super useful to go in like these 3.5 screens and have to walk them out, that this had better be like a magic container for him. Or wait, no, Death Mountain is trophy as well, so this could be the trophy.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Look at this room.
Oh yeah.
Alan finding another drop. This is a landing room. He's got a left and a right here.
Yeah, I think we've been here though. Yeah.
Oh, have we? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been here.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So maybe this was the play. Maybe Bob is going to swing this back in his favor, even though he's down 1 gem, which was just P1. Alan could spend a lot of time in this P5, and Bob is going to be making some progress. But was that just a P bag?
Yeah, it was just
Okay.
a bag. So that we know the trophy is locked behind the hammer. Which now begs the question, where the heck is the east?
My my guess is that it's going to be buried in Death Mountain somewhere.
Oh boy.
But I think if Bob doesn't go back to P1 now, I think he needs to try to beeline to the east and get all of that done and just make it back to the west because GP's on the west here. So
Crosses in the west. Thank you, game.
Oh, this is the room that Alan's in. This is this room I think is first found in P4 in vanilla. It's the high, we're seeing it in reverse, and it's the high, I don't know what you want to call it, the high jump. You can't even use jump, but you got a ferry from right to left, and Alan is grinding out jars on this spawnable, respawnable Mew.
Oh boy. And I don't know if we had seen a whole lot of magic jars in the drop pool as of yet.
Yeah, I don't remember. I guess I haven't been paying close enough attention. We saw a P bag, we saw the key. We might have seen a jar. All right, Bob going back across Saria. My assumption is he's going to go north from here, hit the Maze Island Bridge, and go back to P1.
And well, he's just getting P bags at the moment.
Yeah, he's either going to get a jar or level his magics level up.
Yeah, either which way, yeah.
But this is what Bob needs. This is exactly what he needs. Now, it would have been a lot better had he done P1 already and then had the information to go back into Death Mountain and look for the Eastern Cave. But oh no, he's not going back. Oh no, yes, he okay. Yeah, something like this. Oh wow.
Oh geez. So that was a P bag and a key from the small enemies so far.
Yeah, and if Alan does get a red jar out of here, you know, he's still got to seal the deal on Guma, assuming he's even in this direction.
Yeah.
And that might just end up as a game over. Oh, is Bob not going back to P1? Okay.
He's going back to P5. Or maybe he's got his pals mixed up.
Yeah. Okay, one more 500-point P-back for Alan, and he'll have a level. I don't know if it's a magic level, but it's the 1,700 experience points off of Mew.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really unfortunate way of getting your magic back, but I guess in Alan Heffley's mind, maybe it's just a sunk cost fallacy or something. But he just obeying now would just getting back to here would just take a while.
Yeah, I feel dumb now. I should apologize. I thought 1 was on Maze Island. That's not where 1 was.
No, 3 was on Maze Island.
Yeah,
There's a match. There's a blue. And it's not enough for. And okay, so let's see where Heffley decides to head to here.
Interesting. He spent so much time trying to get something out of there, and does he even have enough to ferry at this point? It might have come down at Magic 5. No, we know it's still. I guess I don't know what the cost is. I don't. I've stopped paying attention to ferry now that we have the Magic Key.
That's a dead end.
Yeah, Bob is going to be into Horsehead in just another, 3 rooms, I think.
Horsehead? I thought he was in... Oh, yeah, he was still looking for 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so Alan has... Yeah, okay, so it's still 53. Still 53 at Magic 5. Oh, man, Alan dropping all that experience. I don't know if that next level is a Magic level or not, but...
Yeah.
It might actually be Life 6.
Yeah, given the usual leveling pattern, yeah, it would have been it likely would have been Life 6.
Yeah.
Given, random XP, it could have been Magic 6, but not very likely. And of course, there's the red jar.
Oh my god.
As soon as you don't need it, it shows up.
The red jar in the shape of a middle finger. All right, Bob, finally into Horsehead's room here. Should be able to seal the deal and even up the score.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you're in Alan's position and you only have a 4-gemmer, and you definitely don't have to be in 5, it's like how much time do you dedicate to this 5 before you say, I've wasted too much time in here, I need to go do something else? Because I don't know when he walked in here, but he has been in here for a little bit at this point.
Yeah, he's been in here for a good while, yeah.
All right, Bob's still looking around for something over here on the east side of the west.
Maybe still looking. He's not heading back to 5, but maybe he's looking to see if there was a cave that he might have missed. Maybe to see if the one last ditch effort of seeing if there was a way to the east that didn't go through Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Although, for all we know, either of those Hammerlock caves could have been it too, since we know we have all the item caves accounted for. Or would that even work?
You can have a boulder. Well, no, you can't in this case because Hammer's in the east.
Right. Yeah. And if there's only one way to the east, then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a busted seed, but we still have a lot of caves in Death Mountain to look around at.
Yeah, and Bob is heading back in there. And we found the item cave in 5.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly what we needed.
Yeah, so Alan, he skipped out on the item in 3. He doesn't know that it was nothing. That kind of sits in the back of your mind, though, especially if you're fighting the item in 1, fighting the item in 5, and you're getting nothing out of both of those for the most part. You're thinking, man, I wish I had skipped the item in 3. But with so many hearts, we start with all the hearts, right? So there's automatically going to be 4 additional, or how many of our hearts we have, that's how many items are not going to be in the pool, right? So there's going to be a few extra junk items out there.
Yeah. Well, we are seeing some new rooms here in 5.
This could be Taguma.
And I think that is. Yes, it is.
We might see some side. Oh, Alan, Jesus! Aggressive plays from Alan Heffley here on Guma. Has someone been practicing his Guma?
It helps that Guma rolled kind of low on health, but gotta be careful.
I say that and then I jinx him. He's gonna get smacked by this flail.
Ooh, nicely done.
Only 300 points, but it's enough to get him that level. Oh. Bob's got it.
And Bob found the east.
Okay, so Alan needed to get that done. Otherwise, he was going to be out a lot of time at this point. So now he's got his 3rd gem. Bob's skipping out on 5. Over on the east, he's going to have access to what? 2, 4, and 6. He's got Reflect, so he could do any of these palaces, which could very easily be a whole lot simpler than 5 was for Alan.
And also of note, Alan Heffley did not check any. He's going the wrong way. Yeah, he needed to go left out of P5 because now he's missing out on the grass tile and on Death Mountain.
He's going to check the raft.
Yeah, except it leads right back to Maze Island. And is he going back to 3? He's okay. He's dipping back into 3.
I wonder if he's going to look for an item in there.
I mean, there's no other reason to be here.
Yeah. I think Bob's going to be getting his upstab here in Darunia.
Yeah, we already have the spell out of here, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this is exactly what Bob needs at this point. He needs to just find 2, find maybe 6 with a very fast Barba, or even 4 with a very fast Karok. Just hang out in the corner. You don't have to do anything on Karok's fight.
Although you do have to be careful. Sometimes Karok seems rather huggy on occasion.
Yeah. But even, man, I can't not focus on these 2 lives. It's like Bob could still have a very big lead into GP if all things go good for him on the East. And if GP is terrible, 2 lives are going to be terrible in GP then.
Yeah, I don't think we had seen this area of 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a dead end, unfortunately, for Alan.
Okay.
Yeah, as Trails is saying in chat, the item was right behind Rebanak. Had Alan just stepped a few steps away from the pedestal.
Oh, was that what the item was? I didn't even know. What was it? I didn't even see.
It was a red jar.
Fair. Okay. I thought you were speaking to hyperboles before, since we kind of knew where all the important stuff was already.
I didn't see what was in Old Kasuda there as Bob just picked it up. Must be Life or Dash, maybe? Life, okay.
Yep, according to chat, it was Life, okay.
Hopefully it's not a useless life. That's something that, again, 2 lives in a hard palace could come in handy. Would have been nice to maybe have on Guma's fight as well for Alan, but he was able to seal the deal without taking a death.
Yeah, and according to chat, apparently Fairy got pretty cheap in that Magic 6 going down into the 20s.
Nice. Yeah, Sunken P-Bag Cave here for Bob. We'll see if there's an item. Again, well, I guess it could be Hammer. We got Hammer East. Could be Hammer.
It's a magic container.
The next, well, I was about to say the next best thing, but I think at this point we'd rather have a magic container than the hammer.
Yeah.
Unless you want the trophy out of Spec Rock. Alan about to be disappointed.
Yep, okay. And now this is where the confusion sets in.
Oh my god, Bob is just the magic container collector here.
Nice.
I don't think Bob has to do this. I think he can walk east from where he's at, go down through the river. There's a little cut here, yeah. He doesn't have to be forced into that double Darunia encounter. All right, so the boots on the east, even we have a vanilla-like, and they're coming in handy here on the east.
And there's the promised hammer.
Alan with the up and A, I think, hopefully he'll just walk straight, well, I'm going to say straight north, but he's got to kind of wrap around like a backwards J and then go north from there.
Yeah, he's just completely blanked in from about that northwest corner. Hopefully he wanders into that direction.
I'm sorry, I have my letters backwards. It's not a backwards, it's an actual J, not a backwards J. Oh, he's going south. Alan, no.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes these mountainous biomes can be a little tricky to navigate. You don't always have a clear-cut answer as to which direction you've been in and which direction you still need to go. I don't know. Hopefully he just, it's kind of, at some point you kind of hope that someone kind of breaks out some, like, a piece of paper and kind of draws something out a little crudely to be like, okay, I haven't seen this section yet.
The section that Bob is in the east is going to be a whole lot of nothing at the moment.
I'm not sure he has found a palace yet.
Nope.
He's found all the magic containers though, but he has not found a palace. Yeah, so it looked like everything was... I don't know if he had access to Death Valley. Probably not the thing you want to jump into right away, but it seems like because he went south, I think, after he came in to the east via the cave. I think he had two caves heading south, and one of those was a pass-through.
Okay, Alan Heffley is in the right direction.
Okay.
At least checking the grass tile first. We'll see if he checks the cave nearby. I'm wondering if he thinks, well, okay, there's that cave, which I don't think that leads anywhere. That's definitely not the way to Death Mountain.
Yeah, this is going to be our boulder blocked cave right next to start. It's gonna lead to that point.
Oh, Bob found the path to Death Valley.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. He has no magic, and he's got to go through 3 of these encounter skips along the way. He does have the cross and the candle, so I guess this could make this very easy.
Or easier.
Yeah, I just feel like if there are 2 other palaces out there somewhere on the east that are not in Death Valley, and so you might just want to find those first. But is he in the south section still? Maybe he's just kind of down here, and he's just doing it because he's down here. I don't know. It's just the idea of going into the volcano and then out of the volcano is something that's not super enticing to me. Not on 2 lives, at least. Okay, Alan's making his way through here. Not going to get distracted by Hammer Cave, and probably going to find this cave very shortly because it's right there facing west for him. Okay, commentator cursed his routing in Death Mountain.
Yes, having so many options and not sure where to go.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. There's a bajillion caves on the screen.
And there's P4 in Death Valley.
Yeah, Bob's going to have plenty of magic, even though Fairy is still expensive. Magic Key doesn't probably have to rely on it too much. Reflect, I didn't look at the Reflect cost. He's the only one with it, so I haven't really been paying attention to it. It's probably in the 40s somewhere, possibly in the 50s at worst. But, he shouldn't have any problem if he finds Karok being able to cast Reflect.
Yeah, and Alan Heffley did get distracted by Hammer Cave is not going to be happy seeing that pea bag out of there. But...
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, they both have the hint for trophy in Death Mountain, so... Oh, no, I don't think Bob has the hint. It might only be Alan who has the hint.
Maybe.
I don't remember that. We saw Rudo very early on. Because I think it might have just been Alan, because he was playing the hint game. But then again, I don't know. Well...
yeah, that is definitely not the trophy. Did Bob find another loop? Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if Alan finally makes it. Oh, well, here we're going to see the item on Bob's side here in the window shopping item room.
And just another pea bag.
That's good.
Not that there could have been much else.
Yeah, I think we have one more magic container out there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I wonder once Alan makes it to the east, if he's going to go into Death Valley as well.
There's Karok. Reflect cost 32.
Oh, very, very cheap. Yeah, this is a pretty quick Karok for Bob. Yeah, really, if you find yourself in a Death Mountain like this, I think the best thing to do is just, especially if you've got the boots and it's a river canyon, you just keep checking all the caves that touch the water from the middle, and if you don't find it there, then you have to start looking on the insides. But it takes longer to look on the insides than it does to just check the interior by the water on the coast. So, yeah, Alan was looking at it, but he didn't go into it.
I was about to ask Bob what he was doing, but until I realized how close he was to a level.
All right, Alan to the east and Bob with 3 gems, evening it up here.
Mm-hmm.
If Alan goes north first... Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm a little turned around on this east, and I actually don't know where we're supposed to be going today. Because Bob did look up where Alan's about to look up in, and I don't know if this led anywhere. Oh, it might.
Yeah, probably the fence path. Yeah.
Okay, so Bob up and A out of the east. Is he going to come back and do 5 and maybe just do GP that's sitting nearby?
Well, we are checking hammer caves, I guess. We have the hammer now. Well, of course, we have that right in front of the cave too. I wonder where the heck would this cave even go? Oh wait, this is the fairy drop, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be just south of the grass tile.
Which is good. That's actually quick. Well, I don't know if that's that much faster back to Death Mountain or what. It's a way back to Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's the faster way.
Yeah, so these other two, like, I was a little confused in the east here, but Bob was up where Alan is at now because Bob did get upstabbed just like Alan picked up. And I don't know if there's something more to the west for where Alan's at or not.
And Bob is diving back into 5.
This is a tough... Yeah.
Because if he can finish 5, GP is on the west. So he could go from there straight to GP.
Yeah, this is a tough 5, though. If he gets turned around as much as Alan did, he's not going to be saving any time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the penalty, I think, of getting sucked into Death Valley like Bob did. Let's say he found any other palace on the outside of Death Valley. Do we think he would have up and A'd, or if he would have just kind of, up and A'd back to the west, if he would have stayed on the east to look for his 4th palace? I don't know. I think he would have stayed east.
I think he might have stayed east if 4 wasn't in Death Valley. Because he would have had to work his way out of there again.
Yeah, it's just, it's a little punishing. If we had more lives, if we had, well, Bob now has Magic 6, so he's definitely got the cheap fairy. I don't know. It's our job here is to kind of try to read the minds of our runners, but sometimes they can be tough to do. Something's going on Alan's side here. He's been kind of hanging out in Darunia. I think
I'm wondering if he's just going to take a bathroom break or something.
Yeah, this house might be for sale as well. I think he's scoping it out. He's gonna say, "I'm just gonna retire in Darunia. Forget this noise." Bob can save the day.
There we go. Now he's back going again.
Yeah, I kind of even forget the way to Guma at this point. It's pretty deep down here with only 2 lives.
Yeah, it goes a ways.
And I guess I don't even remember if it's all the way down here or if it's the middle left here that Bob is about to shoot. Not in this room, but one more up. I would love for Alan to find 2 or 6 out here somewhere, because I don't think we saw either one of those palaces on Bob's side. He did a lot of exploration out here and didn't see either one of them.
Nope, he did not.
I think we have another quick break on Alan's side here. All right, so we'll see if Bob's falling into the same loop of drop rooms. So he's got the right here, which I think leads nowhere if I'm not mistaken. And we didn't see Alan go left, so it might take him somewhere useful, but I don't know.
I don't remember if Alan even came through here. Did he go through here?
No, it's a dead end.
Okay. Fair.
Alan picking up Fairy. Is he? No, he's out of Darunia.
Yeah, he already had the spell out of here. We had that from the beginning.
Didn't even see. I thought he was just coming down here by accident, but I totally misread. That's my fault. I totally sucked into Bob's gameplay here.
Oh, never mind.
I was old Kasuto for life.
Yeah, something lagged with the stream or something because he was suddenly an old Kasuto.
Yeah, it's mainly because he stopped. So I was really just tunnel visioning on Bob, and then all of a sudden Alan is back into town. I'm like, he's in last place I remembered him was Darunia. All right, Bob, we got to go left here. Hold left. And this could just be another dead end.
Yeah.
It's not, okay. At least not yet. Oh, is this where one of our palaces was? On Alan's side, behind Three-Eyed Rock.
Well, they do have the flute, so we do have access to it. No. Never mind. Oh, boy.
Yeah, 2 palaces, 2 giant palaces still missing at this point on the east. Okay, so one of these paths that Bob is on is a dead end here.
And the unfortunate thing on Alan Heff's side on the stream that we're seeing, he doesn't have a timer, so we can't tell if he's just, stopped for a reason or if his stream is frozen. Oh yeah, Bob did take an up A after getting to that dead end in 5. Right, I often forget that I can actually listen to the streamer's audio from on our end. And now let's have to find a path through a cave.
Yeah, so my assumption for where the other palaces were on the east here is that they were right next to Death Valley, and Bob just happened to get sucked into Death Valley and didn't check right next to it. Because we've seen a lot of this continent.
Oop, there's a palace.
Nice.
There is a palace.
Oh,
there's both palaces right next to each other. So you find 6 first, and there's the other palace right there.
That is too funny. Bob must have just walked just slightly off his screen a little bit. I was so puzzled as to where these other palaces were when he was over here looking around. Yeah, so this is now, I'm going to swing this back in Ellen's favor, unless this 2 that he's in is very deep for Helmet Head. He's probably going to see a Helmet Head possibly before Bob even gets to Guma. And then it'll definitely be his race to lose here. Yeah, because Bob is back to this loop that he's going to go left again at this other room that attaches to that fairy hole. And he's going to just hold left.
Oh
my God.
Helmet Head right there, and
yeah,
not a lot of health either.
Okay, Alan, even with his breaks and his bad dig into 5, he's going to be the first to place our 4 gems today. And GP is not hiding anywhere. We already have its location. It's right close to start.
Having our levels evened up at 566.
Alan kind of poking around for a magic container here, or I assume.
Yeah. I mean, there's still one more out there that we don't know.
That's true. It'll be funny if he just walks a little bit seemingly to the west from where he's at. It's going to be both water tile, desert tile. I'm sorry, water was, it was sunken magic container cave and desert magic container. And it was hammer on the water tile. That's right.
Yeah, hammer was on water tile, yeah.
We also don't have the shield spell, do we?
No.
Okay, we might...
So that would have to be either a Naburu or a Nukasudo.
Yeah, another... So, wow, Bob was able to miss 2 palaces and 2 towns. Just perfect walking, you know. Wow. I mean, it's happened to all of us. I hate it when I miss something that's kind of just there, and it might be something that I want. All right, so
another fairy block.
Yeah, Bob found the same dead end twice, and the other dead end. So there were 2 dead ends. Okay, this is hard to explain. This P5 kind of sucks.
P5s tend to do that.
Yeah.
But there's the item room for Alan Heffley. It was magic, but not the right kind of magic.
Oh, here's one of our towns. Well, everything was right here. Alan doesn't want it, though.
And there's the other one, but this one has potential items, too. And we already started with the shield spell, with the spell rather. And we need 6 for that one.
This is wild. All of this stuff is right here, and Bob simply walked just right by it. But then, I mean, it does, you know, you're tracking as you play, so you definitely know you've missed those things. And it's, you know, Bob made that choice to not come back and not leave Death Valley and look around the east, or at least not come back to the east after Death Valley and not look around again.
And it's just a 1-up.
Yeah, I think Bob is completely turned around here. He needs to go up one room and left.
So is this spell or is this dash? It is dash. So the shield spell is in Naburu. Al Hefley knows about it, has decided not to go for it. He's got 4 gems placed. So it's off to GP.
Yeah, gonna be skipping out on that shield spell today. We'll see. 2 lives. I don't know. You know, it could be Darkling could be 2 rooms in. He might be 22 rooms in. You never know. Yeah, unfortunately, Bob is stuck in this one section.
Yeah, he's just getting himself turned around here in 5, which is unfortunate. But I think I understand his thought of coming into here, because he, as much as he had explored the east and didn't find 2 or 6, he thought, yeah, I know where this palace is, and had explored at least some of it already. But unfortunately, he's not having a good time of it right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, as much time as you spent here, if you, not that you would have made this play, but you start thinking about it, you're like, man, had I just gone back east to look for those 2 missing palaces, I probably would have found one of those, you know, in all the time I've spent in 5 here. And Alan Hefley walked in about 64-34, I think was his time. We'll have to see how much of a dig this is. It's been linear, I think, so far in these first few rooms.
Oh well, linear right into Thunderbird.
And he's got just enough for Thunder. Not that he would really cast anything else. The only thing you don't want to... Oh, wait, what? He's got 80 magic and Thunder's 77.
Okay, did he do the math wrong in his head or something?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Huh.
Okay, back to Bob. This is exactly what Bob needs.
Okay, this is definitely an interest. This is getting interesting here.
Well, yeah, I don't, you know, as much time as it's going to take potentially Bob to find Guma and get through him. Or okay, he's got to go left here. He doesn't have enough for Fairy though. He's going to take this drop.
And
That's
then
not
I'll
what he
just
needs.
take him back all the way back to there again.
Yeah. Yeah, finally,
But
I think that...
Yeah, but I think that death was intentional there, just to get his magic back.
Yeah. I don't know how many rooms this is in to P5 here. Because I'm pretty sure this double Moa bridge room is what I refer to that Bob's in right now. This room, I don't think is too deep.
No.
It might have been worth just up and A-ing at this point, because now even if you do make it to Guma, you're down a whole life. All right, well, Alan is back east. He's looking around for stuff. He's probably just looking for desert tile, an item cave somewhere, water tile, something like that. Some quick checks.
There's Risen P-Bag Cave.
Yeah, we didn't see this, did we?
I didn't see which one it was when Bob found his magic container.
Yeah, Bob, it was sunk in with the magic container from before, and Bob does not have Risen marked off on his tracker, so... Oh my god. Here we go. Bob, about 20 minutes in P5 here. Finally, this tall, I don't know what to call it. It's a vanilla room, but you always see it in vanilla from left to right.
The question in chat, we're not entirely sure. Well, we assume that Alan Hefley is looking for magic containers. Maybe because he thinks he can't afford to cast Thunder, but we do know he can, if only barely.
Yeah, and for anyone who's wondering how we're getting to that number, it's that every magic container is worth 16, and so he has 5. If you just do 5 times 16, that puts us at 80, and magic thunder, as you can see there on Alan's screen in the spellbook, there is 77, so he's got enough to cast it.
Oh, and that's finding the raft in 5.
I don't think it's too far away from Gooma at this point. It might be 1 or 2 more rooms away. It is going to be an elevator down room on the left-hand side.
Okay, and doing a test cast of thunder.
Yep, Bob is about to see Gooma right here.
Alright, so with that 6th magic container, Alan Heffley looks like he's on his way back to GP just as Bob reaches Gooma.
Yeah, hopefully Bob can seal the deal here. Again, he didn't up an A, so he's on his final life. He should be able to cast life, though. He did pick it up from Old Kasudo, and it should be castable. He's got about 64 magic. I don't think life is going to be 64 or more at Magic 6.
Okay. Yep, Gooma's down.
All right, well, for the second dig in here, Alan doesn't have much knowledge that Bob isn't going to have, right? It's a linear dig. It's a linear path to Thunderbird, like 4 rooms in at most, I think? And so Bob's not going to be that far behind. And if anything, he's going to be better equipped with all that extra magic.
And with attack 6 as well.
Yeah. That could be something on Thunderbird here. So with all of that, all of the shenanigans, all of the looping, all the time spent in labyrinthine palaces, we have a very close race still here, just after the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, because who knows how this place is laid out after Thunderbird.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not the worst troll in the world. Both of these runners, they're not like top professional Z2R runners. So anything that's like super difficult is going to be really rough for these guys on 2 lives. We're still focusing on these 2 lives, but I hope it's not Dark Link in like 2 rooms from after Thunderbird. Hope we get to see a little Great Palace. I hope we get to see the runners tested just a little bit.
Okay. Stray shot hits Alan Heffley. Ouch.
That corner is safe until it isn't.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty rare that you get fire in the corner there, and that's exactly why you see a lot of runners hug that right side. You can't hug the left side of the screen. You can only hug the right side of the screen, and more often than not, Thunderbird does not hit you. But as we just saw there, it's possible to get hit by a fireball every once in a while.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful. Okay.
Yeah, we're not even into fast fire yet. Oh, here we go.
Bob has made it to Thunderbird as well.
And no, Bob does not have shield, so it is just going to be Thunder. He has Reflect. He might be able to do a Thunder and Reflect cast here. I mean, not in this attempt, but maybe if he takes a death.
Right. Yeah.
We got some messy pendulums on our side, on both runners here. There we go. I think Alan's got 2 more hits left. Bob's only got 1. I mean, on his player left. Oh!
And Thunderbird is down for the Alan Heffley.
Yeah, that's very nice. And Bob survived that 1 hit. I thought that was going to be Life 6 carrying him there. That's very nice.
Yeah, and Bob's got the magic pixel of health there.
Oh, we have a magic refill if we want it after Thunderbird here. We do have to play 50-50 with the block here, though.
Okay, the life does give a decent amount.
Yeah, look, at least 3 it looked like. And Bob taking a death there, unfortunately. Oh, you know what Bob could do? Possibly a Thunder and Life cast there.
Okay, so we've got elevator options. Oh boy, things just opened up a good bit here.
Here we go. Is this another 4-way? Or is this the same one that we just looped back around to?
I think that's the same one.
Okay. I wasn't sure how we saw the 4-way to begin with. I was focusing on Bob's fight here. More elevators, or is this down? Oh, okay. Yeah, we got some choices for sure. Bob's got 1 or 2 more hits left on Thunderbird here, and he'll be oh, cast life, Bob.
Oh, yeah, that healed for a good bit. But I think he can still take 1 more hit from those fireballs.
Yeah, I think so, but
oh boy. Yeah, he's still alive. Oh boy, wow. Oh wow, dang it.
It's because we began watching him. Well, that's unfortunate. That's going to set him a little bit back here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, we got an elevator up here in this room for Alan Heffley. Then again, at any point we can game over with just these 2 lives. These birds still hit pretty hard. Both of runners having life, but neither of them having shield. And the fact that we have, it looks like at least 4 paths right after Thunderbird to pick from, we could go any direction. Even more choices here on Alan's side as it opens up even more here.
That's a path left.
Wow, we have seen like 6 different directions we can pick from. Some of these have to loop around. This might be a loop to what Alan just saw.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That did just loop it on itself.
Okay, so we have one less direction to take here. So we've got a left in that Jacquemus room right behind us. That might be the closest thing to us that we're going to make a choice here. I hope Bob gets through T-Bird here, because I want to see which way he goes. I hope he does not follow directly in Alan Heffley's footsteps, and we get to see a little bit of divergence.
Unfortunately, you can't use upstab on Thunderbird.
Yeah, Thunderbird beating up Bob here. Bob at attack 6, life 6, and has extra. Looks like about 3 extra health bars. I think is what life is healing today.
Yeah.
All right, Alan's going to walk it back from those. Okay, so it was a dead end at the left of that Jacquemus room, and we saw the loop to the right of the Jacquemus room, so all of this over here is nothing. Yeah, we have probably about 4 ways to choose from here.
Yeah, things kind of spread out a good bit right after T-Bird. And Bob's kind of got the pendulum in reverse. That's not doing him much good.
Yeah, I like to call it the bell curve. And that really hurts too. Is like when you get off, yeah, it's like the pendulum is. It looks very easy to keep Thunderbird on a pendulum until you get in there, and you get him off the pendulum, and then it's kind of a nightmare because he's close to you on the left and the right side of the screens when you're trying to get away from him, and he's just got that rain of fire that's coming down way closer to you and giving you much less opportunity to dodge it.
Got him.
Nice.
Right on that last little sliver of health. Oof.
Now, he's died once. He's on his final life. Is Alan also on his final life, I think?
Well, Bob did just get a 1-up, so...
Oh, that's true. That's true. Totally forgot that bosses were dropping 1-ups there.
Now it's just a matter of what path does Bob take.
Yeah, there's going to be the 4-way coming up, and if Bob goes all the way up and right, that's going to be different from where Alan is right now.
I don't remember if Alan ever actually took that path.
No. Oh, it's a dead end where Alan's at, though, so Bob's choice is right here. This is going to be one of the correct directions. Okay, that's where Alan's at.
And, okay, I thought they were in the same spot for a moment, but no.
Yeah, they're about to be. Alan's about to be back in that room. Unfortunately, this is where Alan was, where Bob is going. Alan's been in this direction. There's nothing over here. And so Alan is slowly whittling down the options here as Bob's about to essentially follow in the footsteps as Alan right now. Then again, he might get himself turned around, so he, I don't know. But it looks like it's going to be up and right at that 4-way.
Yeah. And looks like, yep, he's finally going that way. Not even bothering with all that stuff. Just parry and just get out of here.
Okay, we've got another fun room here. Elevator. It's essentially the flipped version of the room we were just in. Oh, he had an extra life, though!
Well, it's not like it takes that long to get back to there, but yeah.
Yeah. I think he recognized his mistake after the up and A because he just kind of slowly lifted the gate on GP again, thinking, damn it, I had another life.
Maybe he forgot that he had that extra life from Thunderbird.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened.
Or maybe when you start with 2 lives, you're probably constantly thinking that you're already down to 1.
Yeah. Okay, so Bob's seeing the loop here at this section. He's going to go back to the Jackamus room, go left, and see the dead end. Sorry, for anyone confused about the Jackamus room, this is the statue head room, is more along the lines of more modern description for what's going on. Jackamus is a runner, an old Z2R runner who had made a decision in this room that led to his win, hence the room being called the Jackamus room. But he hasn't raced in probably about 2 years now, so it's been a while, so a lot of people don't know what the Jackamus room exactly is. It is the statue head room, though.
Yeah. It's not the only room named after a runner for making a decision that led to a victory.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Alan back through this room, and he's got one more of these.
Question in chat, was trophy needed for dash? No, trophy would have been needed for jump.
Yeah.
That was the spell in Rudo. I don't think either of our runners got it.
No, no one went back to Spec Rock to get the trophy. Immediately greeted with some friends down here.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that was the choice. You didn't want to deal with the 2 previous rooms, so he ferried through there. And now when he comes to this room, he doesn't have Thunder, and he has to spend it again, and now he's low on resources.
And if he had been able to get through those, go to the right, they would have gotten despawned. Go figure.
Yeah, that's true with the King bot there.
Although I guess you would have had to actually, lit up the King bot first for that to happen.
True.
But, oh, well.
Oh, Bob, you gonna get smacked here? Oh God! Oh wow! Bob hit the brick, and there's a separate hitbox for the 50-50 jar. He must have just missed it because he didn't spawn the jar or the bird.
Got another split for Alan Heffley.
Yeah, Bob coming back. He needs to go straight up from the elevator he just passed by. I'm sorry. No, he found the loop, so now he needs to go up. Oh, Bob. This could be it for Alan, though. This is an elevator room.
Is this the one? Yes, it is the one.
Wow. Well, I'm glad.
All you had to do is take the right path, and it more or less led you straight there, though you did have to go through a good bit to get there.
Yeah. I'm glad to see both of our runners were in GP at the same time today, though. Just so wild, the back and forth and the rechecks and the loops and all of that just happened throughout the beginning of this seed. Just pretty wild. It went back and forth. Like we kept just saying, it's like, this is Alan's race. This is Bob's race. This is Alan's race. This is Bob's race. And so, yeah. And especially with both of them being on Thunderbird at the same time, that's always nice to see. Assuming Thunderbird's required, and today it was.
Yep, and the Alan Heffley finishes in first place with an official time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 48 seconds. GG. And it's around that time when Bob decides he's had enough of this. And I don't necessarily blame him either.
Unfortunately, Alan, seemingly having some PC issues here, is not going to be joining us for an interview. Could have been what led to him taking some slight breaks a little bit earlier on in the seed. But Bob will be joining us for an interview here.
All right, then.
Yeah, and again, to anyone watching, this is lower bracket. Both of these runners having one loss. And so Bob taking his second loss is going to get knocked out here as he's in the waiting room.
And we have Bob here in the booth. GG.
Oh, GG to Alan. I'm sorry he can't make it into commentary, but God, that's frustrating.
Yeah, this was definitely an interesting race to see because both of you had your share of troubles. A lot of it involving P5.
No, did he get stuck in there too? Like I kept thinking about trying to hunt for another palace.
Yeah, he dug out 5 for a good while too. Though admittedly that was before you had done your dig into P5.
Yeah, I went in twice. I went in the first time and just kind of it ended up being ridiculous, so I just noped on out of it and I was like, you know what, I'll come back. I knew I had that palace there, and then I finally found the Eastern Continent and I got whatever P4 that was in Death Valley, and I'm like, all right, well, I just need one, and I know where P5 is. Surely it's not going to be that bad. I'll go back to it, and then I won't have to go back. You know, it was just such a convoluted mess to get to the East Continent, and then it was a mess, so I couldn't find another palace in it, and now I wish I'd just waited and tried to look for P2 or something, but I could not have imagined P5 was going to be that rough.
Yeah, P5 does what P5 wants to do.
Yep. Was the path through to Darklink that last little area I died on with the two chickens that were so annoying?
Yeah, with that first elevator going upwards, yes.
Oh God, I'm glad I forfeited then. It's like, oh,
And thing is
that
that
one
was, and thing is that both of you were pretty much at Thunderbird, pretty much at the same time. Alan Heffley was able to get through first. I know you were having your difficulties with the rain of fire that Thunderbird was throwing at you. And pretty much that was the last path that the Alan Heffley. He took every other split path out of that huge crossroads that showed up after Thunderbird.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, there was about I found that one loop, and then I was going back, and then I went through that 2 hail gauntlet, and then ended up in that block room with the two chickens, and I'm like, oh my God, if this is the way I gotta go, because like it's just those 2 rooms before that were just ridiculous with the fire chicken in the one place, and then the bubbles coming at you, and the flying dragon heads, and being on the lava brick, and then 2 rooms in a row like that.
Yeah, always a choice, and when you're on 2 lives as well.
I mean, yeah, that was the only downside. I mean, come on, we started with full health. I mean, the seed was kind of, other than P5 kind of being annoying, the seed was pretty breezy other than that, you know.
Yeah.
I felt good going into GP though I figured he had to be ahead of me. But yeah, the second I got frustrated the second time the second time I fought, or well, the first fight with what's his face with Thunderbird on the second life where I got down to 1 health and I was like 1 hit away. It ate 2 jump inputs. And I got hit on both of them that the controller ate. It just, I guess I hit attack and jump at the same time without meaning to, and I got so mad at it. I was like,
"Wow, yeah, that's rough."
Oh yeah.
When you were on the east, you like you said, you didn't see 2 or 6, and you just found Death Valley, and P4 was in there, and we were kind of confused as to how there were two towns and 2 palaces completely missing from your exploration on the east, because you had seen a chunk of that continent. And so when Alan was over there, he found both of the palaces, both of the towns, and they were very close by each other, and they were all along the southern coast on that very bottom side of it. And so yeah, he did see P2. He never found Death Valley though, but we were concerned when you went back into 5, because we had seen Alan in there for so long, and we're like, uh-oh, is Bob going to get stuck in here just like Alan did? Because as long as he was stuck in there, we were thinking that you might have been able to pull way ahead if you could find 2, 6, and 4, a combination of 2 of those on the east, and then you found 4 in Death Valley, and then just up and 8 out of there. We're like, uh-oh, he's going back to 5. He might run into these problems. And
yeah, oh yeah, quite obviously. Yeah, my thinking on it was, my thinking what it did is like I guess there was just I guess maybe it was, I didn't realize that maybe it was opened. I couldn't figure out how to get to the southeast. I figured it had to be over in that section, and when I went through the pass-through cave and it was blocked off, I could see the section over there, but I didn't see how to get there. And so when I went back up to the northeast, I saw Death Valley, and I was like, all right, screw it, I'll go ahead and do Death Valley. And then I'll be honest with you, at that point I felt like I was behind, and I knew where P5 was, so I was like, okay, I've got a lot more levels now, I'll just go back to P5. And yeah, that wasn't the best decision, but
yeah, I don't blame that decision. You know, I feeling behind like that as well, and it was just like, in reality, you did have a lot of time, because Alan did just get lost in P5 the same as you. But on top of that, when he went into GP first, he walked in just after the hour mark at like 64:34, saw Thunderbird. He had 5 containers, which gives him 80 magic. And he had, Thunder was 77, but he up and 8 out of GP. And unfortunately, that was, we think that was just a misread on how much magic versus the cost of Thunder. And then he went back out. He went back to the east to look around for magic containers. And we're like, okay, this might actually flip back into Bob's favor here. So yeah, when he re-entered, he was I think he re-entered probably a minute or so before you finally got back in, got into GP. And this is why we had this very close race going on. You had 1 more attack level, and I think 1 more magic container than he did, but neither of you had shield, and both of you did have life. So it was fairly even.
Yeah, I wish I'd had shield. That was one thing going into it. I was regretting that, but life was really effective in this one, so that that helped out a lot. And I guess shield was probably Darunia then, maybe. Like if he didn't get it, Naburu, yeah.
Barry was out of Darunia.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's what was that? Where was I at on that one? I got lucky on those magic containers. Like I found those two early. I was like, man, I wasn't gonna do those checks, but they were right there and they were quick, and I just found them both real close there together. And so I was like, other than that, I felt a little behind at P4. Like I was like, man, I got good attack, I got good levels, I got good, I got a lot of health, I got all this magic container. I was a little I'm always a little reticent without. I know there's fairy, but like with GP, I'm a lot of times I'm reticent when I don't have jump because there's rooms that can do in GP that are basically jump required. And I just that was the only other one I wish it could have, but it ended up not mattering, I guess. So, all things considered. But yeah, man, I thought I had a chance at that one. I really did. Like that's a little frustrating, but yes, a GG to Alan. Sounds like this was a really good race. If I could have seen both sides of it, so.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting thing. I think it's worth watching back.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at this one for sure. At least I can say I very much enjoyed the tournament, and like I said, I'm glad I did it, and it's been a lot of fun. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bob, I wasn't sure on this. I know, is this your first or second Max Rando tournament?
This is my second.
Okay.
I did last year's, but I had never played Max Rando before. So this is the first one with any kind of practice on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I think there were a few times in Swiss I was doing commentary for one of your races. I wasn't entirely sure if this was your first or second. I never asked you until now, so I'm glad I cleared that up, although a little late in the tournament commentary for anyone watching this back.
Right. I've done 2 Max Rando tournaments and 1 standard tournament. And
okay.
Yeah, I couldn't do last year's I couldn't do the summer standard, even though I wanted to. It was a lot of things going on. I'm going to try to do this year's again. Standard's what I normally play. That's the flag set I like to practice on. So, I'll be looking forward to seeing what we roll for this one. I'm not going to have time, or I'd love to do the newbie thing that he was putting up, because I think that's a really cool idea. But I don't think I'm going to be able to in these next 2 months, regretfully.
Yeah, this will be an interesting tournament coming up. This details still yet to be fleshed out fully, but yeah, for anyone interested in jumping into potentially a kind of a noob tournament setting for people wanting to get into the Z2R, there's something starting up in the next few months. Check out the Z2R Discord for more information on that as more is released. But yeah, Bob, you seemingly got kind of unlucky in a handful of these seats. This is Max Rando, and we always say that this is like, I don't know, there's a lot less comfort in some of the starts that you had, and like you say, standard is definitely what a lot more people will run. I don't know, Max Rando can be really tough, and I think a handful of these seeds you kind of got potentially shafted on, but then again, sometimes it comes down to more guessing, and bad guesses are punished more than the good guesses are. So I don't know, it's hard to say exactly. But
yeah,
Max Rando is Max Rando.
Oh, it is. It's going to be one of them. Yeah, one of them was a 1 heart container seed, and I think Elendar. I think that was the race with Elendar.
Oh yeah,
he did the 2 checks early that got the only 2 checks I didn't do were the 2 heart containers.
That's
and
right.
He found those early, and that broke the seed open for him. It's like, because he was like afterwards, he was like, "Wait, you did this whole thing with 1 life?" I was like, "Yeah, it wasn't fun." It's like. That, but again, that's your checks, and then what was the last one? That where Glove was in Death Valley. And it's like, wow. Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, that was like, it was in P1 in Death Valley, and like I did every other check in the game but that one, and that I can't remember who that might have been a Backpack Patrick. Yeah, that one was. Yeah. But again, that's your guesses, right? With Max Rando, so like there is going to be a certain. You got to gamble on it, because like I lost one of them because it was a glove. It was a glove wasn't required in GP, and yeah. I've lost in some crazy fashion so far. Like it's been pretty funny. It's like. But, I like that, though, because that means it's, you're in the race the whole time. So, you feel like you're doing pretty good when it just comes down to a decision or two. And you never know with Max. That actually, it's one thing I really like about Max Rando because you just never know. I mean, you might get lucky and you make all the right decisions.
Well, I'm glad to hear your positive outlook on Max Rando after this tournament so far, Bob.
Oh, it's been rough on me, but I enjoy it. I like Max Rando. Like it's. But I mean, you know what you're getting into when you're going in. You might roll a one seed with no thunder or anything like that. You know what you're gonna get. What you're potentially gonna do. So it's like you can't really complain about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. You're essentially kind of just throwing yourself to the fire, and we'll just see what the seed gives us. And my God, it could be terrible, or it could be super comfortable.
Yeah, actually, one of them I lost on. I actually got my personal best on a Max Rando seed on, and it wasn't a win. Nice. That was the worst part. It was something like 36 minutes, and I think the winner was 33 minutes. It was real close. I mean, most of mine were within like a few minutes. Most of the seeds were within a few minutes. So, I mean, I thought.
At least you're being competitive. You're not getting blown out by half an hour.
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you're just, it's a lot better than being at the end of it and being like, what the crap do? I don't know what to do. That one I was like, man, one decision here or there, and the race would have been, I had the race on it. So yeah, I've got a really, like I said, I've had a lot of fun with it, and I've got a real positive outlook on it. Plus, I mean, I can watch myself play, and I've seen how much I've improved on it in the last 2 years, in my Zelda 2 play. So.
Yeah, I'll second that as well, Bob. I mean, I've been here probably just slightly longer than you have, and so I've been doing I watch all the races, and I do a lot of commentary on them, so I get the front seat and everything, and you've absolutely improved over the years here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Really, the combat's the biggest thing I've tried to focus on, is like just getting better at the combat with it. Because then that's really a thing, is like if you can get through stuff, the first time I was still a little bit nervous about doing, candleless seeds. Now I'm like, candle, that's a crutch, It's like,
yeah, that's probably one of the combat aside, candle is probably one of the biggest hurdles for new runners, I would think.
Yeah,
that's what we found trying to get a couple of people in our Discord. That's what we found trying to get new people to play it, is like, it's like we just can't do candleless with newer runners. But this game's one you got to know really well. So,
and at least it gives you the option to start with the candle if you really want one. So
this is true.
If you want one, you can just have it, just so you can actually see where you're going in these caves.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps. You're not going to complain when you get one. Like, I found that one early, and I'm thinking in P3 or whichever it was, and I'm like, well, that's not what I want, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, he was in P1, but yeah.
P1, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what P3 was, but yeah, it was probably nothing. But yeah, I'm not going to complain. Not the item I wanted, but I'm not going to complain. So.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining. I never know how to close these out when someone gets eliminated, unfortunately. That is the second loss here in the lower bracket. I mean, thanks for joining. As always, Bob, I love the positive outlook. I know that you got really beat up by a handful of these seeds, but here's the looking forward to standard for sure, where things are a lot more normalized at the start.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank y'all for having me too. Like I said, I've really enjoyed it. So.
All right. Am I good to wrap up?
I believe so.
All right. So thank you to our runners, the Alan Heffley and Bob the Elder. That was an awesome race. Thank you to our commentators, Melee Wizard and Mirai. And thank you to our tracker, Lost the Pirate. Everyone did a fantastic job. Coming up on ZSR tomorrow, some highlights. At 2:20 p.m. Eastern, we have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard Tournament Season 6 Winners Bracket Semifinals between What the Hell Happened and Bro Tinderdoes. And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando Tournament match. Winners Bracket Round 2 between Mirai and Tavarius. And at 9 p.m., shortly afterwards, another match, Lower Bracket Round 1 between Dr. J, PhD, and Elendar. So quite a few things on the schedule. Hope you all find something you want to watch. And with that, we're going to go and sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time. And have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye!